Hello everyone and welcome into the Law Council. This is Cade and I'm joined with Keith.
Dawn. Cade was maybe talking about doing the review in British accents, but I didn't think he was serious.
Just for the intro to be fun. But yeah, this is Cade joined with Keith.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. But yeah, no, today we are going over the first of the Pirates of the Caribbean film franchise, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Black Pearl, Jim.
And yeah.
Captain Jack Sparrow, Jim.
Little Office reference in there, never hurt anybody. But yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl was released in 2003, directed by Gore Verbinski.
Yeah, no idea what other stuff he's done, but just going off of Pirates of the Caribbean and just this movie alone, great director.
Yeah, no, great movie, really fun.
It's almost 20 years old now.
Yeah, almost 20 years old. I did not realize that until I was doing a little bit of research for this movie. Yeah, it's actually, I found this out a while ago, but it was the first PG-13 Disney movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel very PG-13.
Yeah, it is very, very PG-13. Yeah, Disney had never done one before, and I believe in researching, that was a very big deal for Disney. They weren't sure that this was gonna be a success, and it turned out to be a massive success. Its budget was $140 million, and it made at the box office $654.3 million. So, big return on investment.
Yeah, and is this one you watched as like a kid?
Yes, I remember we had a DVD player in the kitchen/dining room of my grandparents' house, and I would sit up at the counter and I watched this movie. In probably, well, I would imagine it would have come out on DVD late 2003, early 2004. And yeah, I remember very vividly. I did not watch this in theaters, but I did watch it on DVD shortly after it came out, and I was absolutely enthralled.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when I watched this movie. It's just one of those movies. It's just like I probably just watched it a bunch as a kid, But it's just like one of those classic comfort movies you were talking about earlier, Kate. Like it's similar to kind of The Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, all those movies from that era, and this definitely kind of fits into like this really classic era of movies that just created all these fantastic hits. The Matrix, Lord of the Rings, and of course like these big trilogies as well, right? The Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, definitely
good times.
A big era that a lot of people our general age have big nostalgia for.
Yeah, I would assume and hope so. And yeah, I also remember. I remember probably commercials from like VHS tapes I would watch as a kid. Did you ever see like the trailer for this movie, or did you ever like watch it on any tapes?
I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, the trailer is basically just the scene from where the pirates walk underwater to go to the boat.
Sure.
Like that entire scene was just like a cool like trailer where it's like, whoa, underwater pirates, and then Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice.
And yeah, this is just a really fun movie that you could enjoy whether you're a kid or whether you're an adult.
Yes.
And for different reasons.
It definitely does hold up almost 20 years later.
Yeah, mostly because it's just so like professional and like just professionally well done. The period piece aspect of it, like everything is just, it looks real and super realistic, like nothing ever takes you out of the movie, like it's shot in a very modern way. Like it doesn't look like, this doesn't look like a TV show or anything. This looks like a big budget blockbuster movie, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, super, super, super awesome.
And yeah, pretty. Well, not super star-studded cast here, but some big stars. Well, I mean, I guess so. We got Johnny Depp,
Yeah, Orlando Bloom, who was fresh
course.
off of Lord of the Rings, his probably biggest role.
Yeah, and Lord of the Rings and the Pirates movies are part of the reason why he was one of the highest paid actors at the time, just because he got in all these big movies.
Yeah, because this came out in 2003, like I said earlier, which is the same year Return of the King came out, so he was riding high on that Lord of the Rings fame.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he definitely gets more room to shine in this one. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's more of a, I would say, like co-star along with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, but he's sort of like, you know, like the typical kind of movie sort of hero that we follow around.
Yes.
Keira Knightley, coming off of Phantom Menace.
Yeah, Phantom Menace was about 4 years before this, and I can't think of anything she's been in besides Phantom Menace in these movies, but yeah.
The Duchess.
Sure.
But yeah. Yeah, and then I like the way the movie starts out. Just kind of showing, you know, misty ship, a little girl singing the classic pirate song.
Yeah, yo ho, in a bottle of rum, right?
Yo ho ho, in a bottle of 15 men on a dead man's chest. I think that's the song she's singing.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, she's singing. It's 1720.
No, she's singing A Pirate's Life for Me.
Yeah, yo ho, and a bottle of rum, A Pirate's Life for Me.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're aboard the HMS Dauntless. And it's Governor Weatherby Swan and his daughter Elizabeth. And they encounter a shipwreck, and they recover the lone survivor, a boy named Will Turner. And Elizabeth just steals his necklace.
Yeah, it's explained later, but in the time it looks like she's just stealing his necklace, and she thinks just because he's wearing a gold medallion, he's a pirate.
Yeah.
Clearly doesn't know what a pirate is. That this movie will sort of stretch the definition of pirate as it goes on.
Yeah. But yeah, then that's basically
I like Mr. Gibbs here in the scene. You know, it's bad luck to be singing about pirates, and then it's also he's like, it's bad luck to be bringing a woman aboard, even a miniature one.
Yeah.
Funny.
Gibbs definitely, especially later on in the movie, but in later movies as well, he's definitely a standout character.
Yeah, Gibbs. Yeah, he's so funny. He's a really comforting character because he's just, you know, he's a scoundrel. He's like, I'm a piratey kind of character.
I'm a pirate and I've got 6 sideburns.
Yeah, he has huge sideburns.
Yeah.
We see the captain or the Commodore. The Commodore. And of course, yeah, Governor guy who's played by some actor who is kind of famous.
Yes.
Yeah, shipwreck scene. Everything's all on fire and stuff. And young Keira Knightley or Miss Swan sees the flag of the Black Pearl or something, and then she wakes up. Yeah. It was all a dream.
Yeah, it was all a dream, wasn't it? But yeah, this is the where James Norrington is promoted to Commodore, and he is going to. We get this like comedic scene where Miss Swan is being like dressed in like the fashion of the time. They're putting like all this stuff on her in a corset, which is super super tight, and she hates.
Yeah, I like that the movie doesn't, you know, hold anything back with the corsets. It's very accurate with that. It's like, you know, it's not like a fake costume, or I mean, like you're meant to believe it's very much real just because you see, you know, her putting it on. She gets all out of breath.
Yeah, she can't breathe.
It just looks uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
this is Port Royal. I think it's somewhere.
Port Royal's Jamaica.
Sure. And so yeah, the Caribbean basically, and it is under control of the British Empire because this is like the early 1700s.
Yep.
Somewhere around there.
Yep, 1720.
Sure. Do they say that in the movie?
1720 is when that beginning dream takes place, and then it's a time skip of 8 years.
All right, and they were on the crossing from England.
England, is it? Who wants to
Wait,
get
how many
bezeled? I believe it's an 8-year time skip.
Who wants to be bazzled?
But yeah.
I'm able to find what?
Yes.
Any obscure reference and
Very obscure reference.
yeah. So wait, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, time skip.
Yes.
She's in a corset, and then Norrington.
No, what was the? How long was the time skip?
8 years.
I just want to. Okay, so okay, cool.
Yeah, 8 years.
Cool.
So we get that. Miss Swan's corset is too tight.
She's all grown up now.
Yeah, she is an adult. Even though Keira Knightley was actually only 18 when this movie came out.
Wow, that's crazy. She looks like way older, like in her 20s in this.
Yeah, she was born in 1985.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she have been younger since it was the film or the movie would have been filmed like
Yeah, so she's
before 2003?
17, probably.
That is insane.
I know. Yeah, because she's only just now.
She's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Look it up. She's probably like tall woman, and then, of course they just have her hair very big in this movie.
Oh yeah, very. As was the fashion of the time.
Yes.
But yeah, so essentially, James Norrington, the lieutenant, is promoted to Commodore, and he proposes to Elizabeth, and yeah, her course.
Oh, you skipped the whole scene where.
Did I? Oh yeah, yeah.
It was
Jack Sparrow
what's his face?
arrives.
No, Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom, yeah, that too.
We have to see him with the sword.
Ah, yeah, we see.
The blade is folded steel.
The blade is folded steel. I'm Orlando Bloom. I always talk very intensely.
Yeah, his accent is
Well, he is British.
Is he British?
Yes.
Are you sure? 'Cause the way he talks in this, it's like he's doing a bad fake accent or something.
Yeah, he was born in Canterbury. I just looked it up.
Canterbury.
That's in Kent.
Okay. But yeah, we see grown-up Will Turner. He's a blacksmith, and we get this nice little exchange between him and Miss Swan, because she's like, call me Elizabeth. And he's like, or how many times do I have to ask you to call me Elizabeth? And he's like, at least once more, Miss Swan.
Yeah, really good. He's very, very, very charming in these movies.
Oh yeah, he's just got his normal black hair, and he just kind of looks like regular dude. He's not like an elf.
Yeah, he doesn't have like the platinum blonde Legolas hair. He's it's like brown hair with a beard.
He got a nice goatee going on thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess he kind of grew up with, he came to Port Royal with Elizabeth and all them, and he's a blacksmith, and he does blacksmith stuff.
He does do blacksmith stuff.
And I practice with them 3 hours a day. But I think after this is the scene where Jack Sparrow arrives.
Yes, then Jack Sparrow arrives in on the what's that thing on a ship called? Oh, the Crow's Nest.
Yeah, and I love the way it opens up because it's like very epic music. You see Jack Sparrow on this crow's nest looking out. It looks like all epic, and then he's just on the crow's nest, this tiny little ship.
Oh yeah, and it's like sinking.
Mm-hmm. It's like dun 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 dun. Hans Zimmer does the music in this.
Yes, he does. It's very, very good. Yeah, it has a very, very
so fun.
Yeah, and then
it's memorable, very memorable. I think about the scene and I hear the music.
Yeah, but it's really, really good. And yes, Norrington gets promoted, and then Sparrow gets the business from a couple of Marines that show up later on. A couple of red coats.
Well, first he has to arrive in port.
Oh yeah, he arrives in the port, and as
his little ship
is getting under, fully under, he hops onto the dock.
Yeah, perfectly timed, very fun. And then a dock merchant person or whatever is like, you have to pay a fee. It's 3 shillings.
Yeah.
A nice little exchange there, and probably my favorite little scene where in the opening is when Jack goes to steal I believe the Dauntless
Yes.
or the Interceptor, one or the other.
It's the Dauntless.
Sure. And yeah, he gets to interact with basically British Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, pretty much.
Seems to me a ship like that is a bit superfluous, really. No, yeah, this is where the movie just gets really fun. Is that scene for me?
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
it definitely.
Because Jack's
picks up.
just giving Jack's accent is just so like it's just funny, and he's just such a fun character.
Yeah,
You know,
very-
like this scoundrel pirate who's kind of like sort of drunk crazy all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, according to some things I read when I was doing some research on Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney executives, when they watched a first kind of screening of the movie, they weren't sure if Jack Sparrow was drunk or gay, and Michael Eisner actually thought that he was ruining the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, a bunch of boomers up in their office. But yeah, up on the top of the fort, Port Royal, Commodore Norrington offers Elizabeth his hand in marriage, and she faints because her corset is so tight, and the craziness of the whole everything causes her to faint.
Yeah, and then she also just falls off the side of this high cliff thing and somehow doesn't die.
Yeah, it's a movie, so I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt that she doesn't. And then Jack dives in and rescues her. And
The way all this is set up is great because before in the scene where Jack is kind of just talking to the guys and trying to like finagle them into letting him look at the ship or whatever. It's like in this big harbor. You see the big cliff thing. So everything is set up. It all feels like it probably is a real place, but it feels like a real place, what's here and what's there. And so, yeah, we cut to like Jack on the back of the ship talking to the guys, and he's like, and so they made me the chief. No. And then splash.
Yeah, and then Jack dives in and he saves her. But then unfortunately, as he does that, the medallion that Miss Swan has sends out a magical pulse.
Yeah, just lets out a massive underwater fart, which will go to the Black Pearl. But we don't know that. But yeah, I like that Jack goes to save, the damsel in distress, Keira Knightley. Even though he's supposed to be, a scoundrel pirate, we see him lie and cheat his way into the dock and everything, At the end of the day, he'll save a chick from drowning.
Yeah, well, he also does it like semi-reluctantly. Like you can see on his face, he's like, ugh.
No, yeah, it's a very funny scene. He looks to the guys with authority. Do you know how to swim? You know how to swim? Like, no, pride of the King's Navy, you are.
Yeah, really good lines.
So it's so funny. He's like, here's all my stuff. Just very, very quick editing, showing him just putting all his crap into their hands as he goes to jump in. Yeah, this is like the way the movie combines action, suspense, and comedy. It's very well done. You never feel like you're being like, you never feel like you're being whipped around like tone wise. It's kind of like it's like a Marvel movie that really kind of rides the line perfectly. Kind of like sort of like an Avengers kind of tone, but just not as much super jokiness, but a different kind of like humor, like a sardonic kind of ironic sort of humor.
Yeah.
And it just gives the movie this great tone. It's fun stuff. And Jack, of course, saves Keira Knightley, but oh no, they discover he's a pirate because he has a pirate brand.
Yeah, he's been branded as a pirate. Unfortunately,
I think you would have gotten rid of that.
It's branded into his skin. It's kind of one of those things that's, it's also the 1700s, so.
Oh, true. Yeah. Well, you could have gotten, I don't know, another brand on top of it that would, make it look like something else.
I don't know. Yeah,
and, Yeah, fun action sequence. Jack has to like take hostage Kira in order to get out of there, and then he does Jack Sparrow stuff. They're all like shooting at him as he's like flying around. Chase scene. More fun music, more just fun stuff, and then we get basically the meet cute between Jack and Will.
Yep. Yeah, they have a.
They're gonna be buddy for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be the buddy cop thing, and yeah, it's really really fun. This is always my favorite part of the movie when I was a kid, like the big cool like first sword fight that we get in the movie.
Yeah, because we've kind of been introduced to Will, and we've definitely been introduced to Jack, and it's fun to see how they play off of each other. Will is obviously like just a straight-laced guy. He like, he wants to stop Jack from escaping and capture him and stuff. Jack's like, I'm gonna shoot you. You don't let me go. Because he's a pirate.
Yeah, works really really good. They use the environment to their advantage really really well. It's really fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe the best choreographed like sword fight in the movie. Just for in the fact that it takes place in this like one room, and it has so much going on. You know, there's like this sword machine thing that's got all these swords in it. They jump around that. They jump into the rafters of the freaking room. They're like fighting there. They're fighting on all the farm stuff. And it's funny that this happens, and throughout this whole sequence, the main blacksmith has just been sitting in a chair drunk.
Yeah, he's drunk and he fell asleep, but then at the very end he bonks him with something. I don't know if it's like a shovel or...
No, it's his rum bottle.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, he knocks him out. Yeah, really really fun. Very, again, like the tone of like the comedy and the action works really really well together.
Right, but none of it ever like takes you out of the movie. You know, like the movie always feels kind of mostly serious and like a realistic. And yeah, and of course all the fuzz basically show up, and then they thank the blacksmith for stopping Jack, and of course Will just gets no credit.
Of course.
And yeah. I think after this, the main cool thing is like the Black Pearl shows up because the gold calls to them. The gold. Yeah, really fun. Yeah, later on, the Black Pearl shows up and they do pirate stuff. Yeah, they basically just get set up for like pirate raid. They just start, cannoning the crap out of the frickin', the populace and I think it's like an armory or the fortress or a fort. Yeah. Yeah, they start shooting it. They're just blowing everything up. Is really cool. Start running through the town and pillaging stuff. Yeah, really, really cool. Will gets to fight some people off, and we get some fun scenes of like Jack and some prisoners trying to get out of there, essentially. Get out of prison. Trying to use the dog that has the... Oh, yeah. And this scene is it's a reference to the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride, where there would be like some like prisoners trying to like lure a dog to get like a key or something. I did not know that. Yeah, and Jack is just like doing his own thing, chilling, in the corner. Oh, and then they talk about the Black Pearl. I've heard stories, no survivors. Yeah, I feel like pretty much probably everyone has seen this movie, so yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's really fun. We get some more good action. But yeah, Jack is able to escape. It's via a hole in the wall, right? Thanks to a timely cannon blast. Yeah, the old hole in the wall. Yeah, he's able to get out of there. And then Will is knocked out, and Elizabeth is taken by. Do you know the names of the two? Wait a minute, Jack doesn't escape there. Or no, he gets out of prison. No, doesn't he? The other prisoners escape. Oh, that's right. And he's the only one who can escape. Because later on, the Black Pearl guys find him and talk to him and stuff. Yes, that's right. Because then we get that cool shot of him of like the spooky. Because the reason I know he doesn't escape is because we get the leverage scene. You're right. We need the proper leverage. And but it's very funny that all the other prisoners get to escape, but Jack's kind of stuck, waiting to get hanged.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Yeah, but yeah, then the pirates go to the governor's mansion, get Miss Swan because she's got the gold. The gold. The gold. Oh, and one of my favorite little scenes from this is when you see like the Commodore and the governor atop the fort, and they're getting like cannon bombed and stuff. And the Commodore's like, "Barricade yourself in my office. That's an order." And as he's saying that, there's like an explosion in the background. It's very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get like a nice little kind of mix of comedy and mix of like scariness with the pirate Abbott and Costello. Like the names I can't remember, but you know, they're like the pirate version of the British guards that Jack talks to.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, one of them has a wooden eye, and yeah.
Yeah, I remember that did always creep me out when I was a kid, of them like getting to Elizabeth, like when she's like trying to hide and stuff.
Yeah, it's this one really creepy shot where she's in the closet and like there's like this the closet's open like slightly, so there's this like little ray of light shining on her, and then the ray of light gets covered and we just see the creepy bald guy's face. "Hello, puppet."
Yeah.
And Elizabeth goes, "Parley." They're like, "What?" Parley. But you have to follow the rules set down by Morgan and Bartholomew.
Yeah.
So basically, she asks for like, you know, to talk or whatever to the captain, like parley, and yeah, they take her to Barbosa, Captain Barbosa of the Black Pearl. And I always really like this sequence, you know, or the scene, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, it is super fun.
Yeah, Captain Barbosa is just like he's just like the perfect pirate captain.
Yes. Played
and
by...
I love his accent. It's amazing.
Yeah, played by Jeffrey Rush.
You know, I've not seen in anything else,
yeah.
But he's fantastic in this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And yeah, Elizabeth basically tells him in a really fancy way to leave. He's like, you know, them's a lot of fancy words, miss. We be not but humble pirates. I mutilated his accent, but
oh yeah, no, it's super fun. And yeah, she says that if you stop attacking Port Royal, then you can have this medallion. But in a kind of a loophole, he abducts Elizabeth, and then
yeah, and the pirates and Barbosa basically think, because Elizabeth says her name is, you know, Elizabeth Turner, they think she is the daughter of somebody. It's not revealed at this point, but they kind of show, you know, the pirates know something about her, you know, and they know some other stuff maybe, and yeah, they basically just leave.
Yeah.
Will was trying to help out and he gets knocked out earlier.
Oh
He
yeah.
just wakes up, chickens and shit everywhere.
Yep.
And he's like, "We have to save her. That's not good enough. This is not the time for rash action, Turner." No?
Yeah. No.
He slams the axe down into the map.
Yep.
"That's not good enough." I always like that scene.
Yeah. No, it is really fun.
Like me when I get the wrong order, it's like, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so so Elizabeth's basically kidnapped, and Will wants to get her back because he loves her.
Yeah.
And yeah, who else would he enlist to track down some pirates but a pirate? And he goes to Jack.
Yeah. Yeah. And
he somehow convinces Jack to help him, or he also lets it drop that his name is Turner as well. So Jack kind of formulates a little plan in his head because he also knows things.
yes, he does know he knows the things. And
we get the classic leverage scene where Will just pops off the the door of the prison using like a chair or a bench or something.
Yes, that's how he gets out.
With the proper leverage, the door will lift free.
Yeah, and then
I do like his accent in this.
Yeah.
The girl goes free, and the crew. Crew are not to be harmed.
Yeah.
That comes later.
Yeah, and they decide that they are going to borrow the Interceptor. Not the Dauntless. I was wrong earlier.
We're going to steal a ship. Borrow. Going to borrow a ship. Commandeer. Going to commandeer that ship.
Yeah, and then we also earlier on when we're on the ship, Barbosa, or later on, I don't remember when, but Barbosa offers Elizabeth Swann the opportunity to dine with him and wear a red dress. And then when she refuses, then he's like, then you'll be dining with the crew, naked.
Oh, I can do it. Oh, yeah, the captain said you would say that. And he also said that if that were the case, then you'd be dining with the crew. And you'd be naked.
Yeah.
So, of course, she accepts.
Yeah, she accepts.
And we get, that scene's great because it's basically just pirate mukbang for Elizabeth. She's eating all this food.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, she scarfs down a bunch of foods and everything, and yeah, we basically get the exposition on how Barbosa became the captain of the Black Pearl and all of that stuff.
Sure.
It used to be under the command of Jack Sparrow, but they mutinied.
Oh yeah. Does he say that here? Does he say that to Elizabeth?
I think so.
I feel like Gibbs says that later, but I'm not sure. Could be misremembering. But we did miss the really fun scene where Jack is able to manipulate the Commodore and everyone, and he's able to steal the ship.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just yeah. So basically, they have to well, first, Will and Jack get an upside down freaking boat and use it as like a submarine to like walk under the water.
Yep.
Towards a boat, and they get on a boat, and they're like, "We're taking over this ship." Will's like, "Aye, avast!" And everyone just laughs because they're like, "You can't just crew a ship with 2 people, you retard."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, we'll do it anyway. Just get off the ship, or I'll shoot you." And yeah, so they start kind of messing around, and then who else has got to show up and spank them but the Commodore? So yeah, too rash, Turner, or he says something like that. And yeah, they basically they go out in the fully loaded and locked and loaded ship and stuff to like get them and stuff, and then yeah, Jack and Will do the old switcheroo and take the boat. This is a really funny sequence. We get the classic line where like the Commodore's like, "He has to be the worst pirate I've ever seen," and then as Jack's escaping, his like second command says, "That's probably the best pirate I've ever seen." So it would seem. Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
It's very fun. I mean, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's you say it's like a 10 out of 10 movie?
Yeah, depending on how you want to go with that. Yeah. It's a great
like
movie.
a perfect classic movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff. And yeah, so after that, yeah, we could basically get the scene where Elizabeth figures out that they're all ghost pirates.
They're all zombies.
And this scene hasn't aged the best.
No, it's the CG isn't super great, but it is still really, really good. I remember when I was a kid, it absolutely just freaked me out.
Watching it now, it kind of looks like a video game. But yeah, at the time, watching this like on a little old CRT monitor on VHS or whatever.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Definitely a lot better. And Barbosa's little thing at the end of like their conversation it's very iconic. The whole, "For too long I've been parched of thirst and unable to quench it. Too long starving to death and haven't died." I feel nothing, not the wind on my face, nor the spray of the sea.
Nothing.
Nor the warmth of a woman's flesh. You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. Very, very iconic.
You're in one. Yeah, very funny.
Yeah, and then we get her whole, like, spooky...
funny kind of, I guess,
funny,
fourth
spooky,
wall breaking, like, line, but it works, and it doesn't really break your immersion. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah, they have the... Basically, they have the cursed Aztec treasure, and since they stole the treasure, they're cursed to basically be alive forever.
Yeah, the only loophole that really kind of brings in is, like... So Will's dad took a piece of one of those gold pieces and then mails it to Will, but Will doesn't turn into, like, a ghost zombie person.
Yeah, it's a little...
And then also, if his dad had taken a gold piece, then how could they have killed him by, like, sinking him to the bottom of the ocean if he was a ghost pirate person?
Well, because he didn't die.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have died anyway.
Yeah, but...
Because he'd taken a piece of gold, so he would be immortal.
Yeah, but he would still have to suffer, like, being like, crushed to death. But they didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, true, but... whatever.
Yeah, anyways.
But, getting a little ahead of ourselves there, but, after that...
I think we would get where they go to Tortuga, where they...
Tortuga!
They get the gang.
We do. Well, before that, we do get a good little scene where, you know, Jack and Will discuss Will's heritage. You know, his dad, and Jack says he was a pirate. And Will's like, my dad was not a pirate. He was a pirate and a bloody scallywag. I feel like this whole review is just going to be me repeating lines from the movie just because they're all so quotable. But, yeah, I like the scene. Jack's basically explaining to Will, what a man can do and what a man can't do. So, can you sail with me or can you not?
Yeah. And
Tortuga, we get the Tortuga, gang. Which was the basically a pirate haven.
Yep.
A lawless town. Lots of fun.
Yeah, really fun.
Drunk people everywhere.
Yeah, this is where Gibbs and a lot of the other...
yes,
squad.
The iconic Gibbs waking up scene.
Yeah. Yeah, tons of fun. Tortuga's really fun. It's basically the whole the gang is back together scene.
Yeah. Jack kind of explains to Gibbs what the situation is, what they're doing. And then, they gotta get a crew together. And, get a nice little fun, wacky, quirky crew together. For some reason, Gamora's on the crew, and she's an ex-girlfriend of Jack's.
Yeah.
Because the woman who's on a woman joins the crew because Jack, I think, stole her boat. The boat at the beginning of the movie, I think, was hers, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And that answers that question. But they join up the crew, and they're like, "We'll give you the Dauntless or whatever eventually." And they go off to the island, which is Isla de Muerta.
Isla de Muerta.
Very piratey name.
Island of the Dead.
And Jack using his compass, which we don't know at this point is like a magic compass that points from whatever direction, but whatever. His compass that doesn't point north.
His heart's greatest desire.
And I half expected it to be made out of wood.
But yeah, so they're basically heading there, and they end up converging, or do they converge with? I
really like the scene where they're like sailing through the storm. It just looks so good.
Oh yeah, it does look really, really good.
Water and everything. It's just like crashing. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, really good stuff.
They arrived at, and it's great how this movie just puts so many like kind of tropes in here without really getting too like goofy or cartoony. Hidden Isle, Pirate Cove. It's basically got shipwrecks and stuff there, and shark-infested waters, ghost pirates.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Really good stuff.
Fun.
Yeah, and then on the island, Barbosa, since he believes that Elizabeth is Bootstrap Bill's child, puts some of her blood on the last coin and drops it into the chest.
Right, yeah, they somehow figured out the ritual, and they've all already done this thing where they like returned their gold with the blood, so they do it with her. It's so funny. They're all like ready and trying to feel if they're still alive. You're like, well, it didn't work, and then in order to figure it out, Barbosa just shoots one of them.
Yeah.
Funny.
Really fun.
And it looks so real when he gets shot, and you just like feel the impact of it. Like, phew. It's like, whoa. I also just like the way Barbosa like pulls out his gun from his little belt sash thing and like shoots. You know,
Yep.
this whole little thing like. Yeah, those pistols just look so fun to shoot.
Oh yeah, no, they look awesome.
It's like flintlock
the
pistols.
Flintlock pistols, yeah.
We can still use them as clubs.
Yeah, but it's really fun. We also have at this point, Will and Jack and the squad arrive, and they kind of, Will knocks out Jack because he's like, oh, you're gonna betray me.
Well, we get this kind of fun little sequence that kind of feels like a Disney ride where they're like going down this cave with like this river, and they're in these little boats, and they seen all this gold under the water and stuff. And eventually, Will kind of just, I guess he figured out earlier, what happens. He kind of references the leverage line. I'm not going to be your leverage, Jack, and he knocks him out.
Yeah.
And then, Will gets Elizabeth, and they all escape on the boats. And Will's just like, Jack fell behind. Everyone's like, keep to the code. Pirate code is, any man who gets left behind stays behind.
Yep. And then, the crew of the Black Pearl end up discovering Jack, and he.
I like the Black Pearl's like swag hole that they have with all this like, booty and stuff in it.
All their drip, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really cool stuff. Really fun. And then they end up discovering Jack, and he gets taken to Barbosa because Jack invoked Parlay.
Yeah. And
they basically do the whole thing of
that's right. Yeah, they have to chase down the ship.
Yeah.
We get a cool chase sequence. Old-timey chase sequence with the boats. It's very fun. They're like throwing away everything, the cannonballs and all this stuff in order to lose weight. But I guess since they have a wind going, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So and then they don't have any cannonballs now, so they have to start putting all this crap into their
they're
cannons.
putting like silverware and.
Oh, and I love the way they set up like them like turning around, like they have to like drop the anchor in order to like turn really fast.
Yeah.
Barbosa sees what's happening, and he's like, they're club hauling, and they like flip around, and they like kind of, and then we just get with this one of the coolest like sequences ever where they're just like shooting the cannonballs at each other, and it looks so real because it probably is actual like cannons like firing and stuff like that, and like real ships and stuff.
Yeah,
you see all the smoke and all the wood splinters, everything exploding. Definitely not CG. Like, it doesn't look like a CG mess. It looks like the real deal.
Yeah, looks super, super good. But in the
and as they're like pulling up with each other, like all like both ships are like just screaming. Everyone's like, yeah. It feels like whoa, like turned up pirate fight,
Yeah, it's a super, super great fight scene. But eventually, the crew of the Black Pearl wins, and they retrieve all their stuff. Everyone from the Interceptor is imprisoned, and they blow up the Interceptor.
Yeah, they do the classic. They lead a trail of gunpowder and like light it to blow up the ship, not realizing that Sir William was on board. They almost blew up their only chance of getting cured.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, he swims onto the boat, and he holds himself hostage.
Yeah, he's his own leverage. What a twist.
Did not think about that.
Yeah, he's his own leverage. But yeah, he reveals that he's Bootstrap Bill's son. And this is the part you're talking about earlier. The girl and the crew go free.
Yeah. Yeah, because Barbosa just asks him, what are your terms, boy? It's like she goes free. Yes, we heard that part. He's kind of he doesn't know what to do because Barbosa agrees. Like and the crew are not to be harmed. He does this funny little motion with his gun where he like points and stuff.
Yeah.
Jack's just like Jack's motioning to himself the whole time, like pointing to himself, like free me, do something.
Free me,
and
yeah.
Will just completely ignores him. Great. And yeah, Barbosa basically just does the old I'm a pirate deal.
Well, they do set Jack and Elizabeth free on an island to die.
But specifically because Will did not specify when or where they would be freed, he's just like, F it.
Maroon him.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. And then they are going to bring Will...
Oh, and it's the same island that Jack was marooned on before.
Yep. But yeah, they are on the... they're on a Rum Runner's Island. The same one that Jack was marooned on. And he... Yeah, because originally... Elizabeth asks how he got off before, and he got off with the help of rum runners.
Right, yeah, and all we got before was this BS story told by Gibbs, saying that he made friends with sea turtles and
he tied
made a raft
sea
out
turtles to his feet and
he lashed a couple of sea turtles together and roped himself a raft. Like, no.
Yeah. And then we get fun little scenes of
3
them...
3 days lying on a beach, drinking rum.
Yeah, we get the fun little scene where they both drink, and then...
they're singing the yo-ho, pirate life for me.
Yo-ho.
Really bad eggs.
Yeah.
Fun.
And then, Elizabeth...
I'm not sure if they had that song back then, but they probably did.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, Elizabeth has a scheme. She basically just gets Jack super drunk and then gets all the booze and lights the trees on fire.
Yeah, and then that creates a signal fire, and then eventually they are rescued by Commodore Norrington.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, unfortunately, they aren't able to convince everyone to go back to rescue Will.
Yeah, they're like,
unless
shucks.
Elizabeth promises to marry Commodore Norrington.
Yeah. Liar!
Yeah.
You're a liar!
A great big phony.
He's a phony! A great big phony!
But yeah, so from here we get a super fun. This is basically like the ending bit we can kind of rush through because they show up. Norrington's forces do.
Very spooky. It's nighttime.
Yeah, spooky. It's nighttime. The moon's out, which means we'll get to see plenty of zombie pirates and
ghost pirates.
Yeah, zombie pirates, and we get that. And Jack convinces everyone to wait because he's gonna go and convince them to come out so they can ambush them. And then he ends up going
Jack
in.
keeps doing his this thing where he's just kind of like you never really know what side he's on. He's kind of constantly just flipping the script, very fun. He has a sort of manipulatively way of talking where he kind of acts like he's stupid, but he's really smart.
Yeah, he's the master planner.
And we get of course the classic sequence where the skeleton pirates walk underwater in order to sneak up on the boat.
Yeah, we also get Jack convinces Barbosa to delay breaking the curse until after they kill the crews of the Dauntless, and then they'll have another ship. Yeah,
so basically, big ending action sequence. There's the boat fight out on the outside the island, and then inside the cave, Jack's doing a fight, and he's a skeleton pirate now because he took some gold.
Yeah,
and basically they eventually get the gold pieces back to Will, who does the blood thing, and their way of winning is to cure the pirates.
Yeah. Well, because we also get a cool little thing, because unbeknownst to Barbosa, Jack steals a coin as well, so he's immortal, because we get this scene where Barbosa shoots Jack, but then he kind of stumbles back into the moonlight, and whoa, he's a ghost pirate too!
Yeah, Jack basically just says, I just had to try it out. And it's set up very well by the scene earlier where he's touching the gold and he just kind of palms one.
Yep. And it's really fun. We get another really cool line from Barbosa. So what now, Jack Sparrow? Are we going to be two immortals locked in epic battle till Judgment Day and the trumpet sound?
Yeah, that's a great line.
Really, really just epic.
Very well acted. I like the scene, here, because like there's all this light shining through with like moonlight, and so they're like, as they go in and out of it, they go from being normal, like, all gross and skeleton-y, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's really, really fun. We get that, and then
yeah, all the pirates get alived, and then they get deaded.
well, they like surrender to the Royal Navy, but presumably
some of them that have gotten like stabbed, they just died already.
Yeah.
And then it's like they all go huzzah!
Then we get the cool scene where Barbosa dies and he drops his green apple.
Oh yeah.
Which the funny thing is, so for a little bit of history,
never got to try that apple.
That apple would have actually tasted really bad because apples as we know them are genetically modified to taste like sweet and delicious, and that apple would have tasted like a raw potato at that time period.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's why
apples aren't supposed to taste good?
Not originally. That's why like
what?
That's why apple pie has like cinnamon and sugar and stuff in it to make them taste good, because they used to be really, really bland.
Wow. Well,
So there's your bit of food history.
And earlier Elizabeth thinks it's poisoned, which I guess it's like a reference to the poison apple from Snow White.
Yeah, that's just like a trope.
Little Disney reference there.
Yeah, really fun.
And
yeah, this brings us to
the heroes win.
The real
Jack
finale.
gets some swag, but then he gets arrested.
Yeah, he gets arrested because he is a pirate.
He's a pirate.
And yeah, we get so back at Port Royal, Commodore Norrington is gonna have to hang Jack because that's the law. But
you
then
get a very tense sequence where they're like doing like little drum rolls as like they're reading off Jack's whole list of crimes, which is like a mile long.
Yeah.
It's very fun, even though it's something grim, but you can kind of see there's something being set up here.
Yeah.
The Mr. Cotton's parrot shows up and poops on British Abbott Costello.
Yeah. Really fun. Will shows up and he's got the drip.
Yeah, he looks like a musketeer.
Yeah, he's got like the big cap with the feather in it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, great fight scene, escape sequence and stuff, which basically leads up to the same spot where Elizabeth fell from earlier. They kind of get like cornered at, and then they're about to get shot, and Elizabeth like steps in and is like, "No, I choose Will." And Norrington's like, "Oh, so you're not gonna marry me? Well then, I'll just leave now."
You're a phony.
Yeah, he basically lets Jack go, and Jack jumps off the thing. And they're like, he's nowhere to go but the noose. But lo and behold, what's off in the bay? The Black Pearl.
Yeah, son.
There to rescue Jack. And yeah, Norrington basically lets Jack go, and he's like, I think we can afford to give him 1 day's head start. And yeah, Jack gets onto the Black Pearl, and he's got his compass, he's got his ship and everything, he's got his jacket and hat, and he's like, "Yep, bring me that horizon."
Yeah.
And yeah, Elizabeth and Will get a nice little happy ending. She chooses him, Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Really.
Of course, we get the ending.
In my middle school band, middle school band class, we actually played the main theme for Pirates of the Caribbean for one of our band concerts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was super hype.
We did some like pop culture themes, but we never got to do Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, we did Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
I did some Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what can you say other than this is one of those movies? It's just like an instant classic. It's just timeless. It holds up incredibly well. Right? Like it's not not exactly a controversial opinion.
No, yeah, it's really fun.
I think pretty much anyone who's seen this movie probably loves it or at least likes it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's like, I hate Pirates of the Caribbean. And
I don't think I want to meet the person that watched Pirates and is like, not for me.
Oh yeah, if I met that person, I'd be like, Get out of my presence. You disgust me.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah. But yeah, it's a super, super great movie. Nothing we can say hasn't been already said. So
it's like a classic on par with the original Matrix, maybe even the original Star Wars. You know, like that. You know, like the original, like Harry Potter. You know, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I definitely put it in that same category of like the Harry Potter movies, where it's just like really iconic, especially like in the time period that it came out in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it definitely is just like it's just one of the best period piece movies ever, just because it's so fun. You know?
Super great movie. It's hard not to have a fun time while you're watching it.
Yeah, it's just great, and it's one of those movies I like know every line, but I still just want to watch it anyway, just because it's so great.
Yeah, ton of fun. But yeah, obviously this spawned several sequels, some of which better than the others.
Yeah, tune in next time for our Dead Man's Chest review, where we get to see technically Barbosa.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that about does it from us at the Lore Council. If you've enjoyed this video, drop it a like and a subscribe and help us grow our channel. We also have a Discord where we can have tons of discussions. If you're not already in it, I would definitely recommend joining it. Tons of fun discussions and chats to be had in that. But with that, this has been Cade from the Lore Council signing off.
This is Keith. Avast, ye mateys.